Hey everyone, and welcome back to another week of Shiggles. I am that guy Rickster,
Hi, Darren here, guys.
and this week, let's start off by saying there was no episode last week because we were both going through it. things were things were not what they were supposed to be. I had my wisdom teeth taken out, and I was in no space to talk last week.
And I had a terrible flu. I was coughing every 5 seconds. Um, I can't even say if it's a damn flu too because everyone been sick.
I
New
think
York
it's a flu
people.
because it's going on here as well. One of my coworkers, she has been out for like a week with the flu.
Yeah, like people have been just getting sick left, right, and center. For the last 3, 4 weeks. Um, and I don't know. They got me, gal. They got me. but but I've been better. Cough has
Yeah,
disappeared. Because I absolutely hate coughing in public. Like I hate that shit. But
especially now, pre
right?
post pandemic, it's
Ugh.
like the minute you cover what he thinks is like the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I
But
started eating solid foods again, so I'm fine now. So that's good.
yeah,
So,
same for me.
yep,
But
it's
this week,
been a journey. So this week we're going to start off with a topic that was suggested by a listener of ours. Basically getting to know yourself, and he wrote a synopsis of what he kind of meant by that, and I'll read that and then we can get into it. So he says, at what age you thought, yeah, I know who I am sexually and personality wise? Do you stand up for yourself despite what the world may be doing or see you as? And at what cost, since being your true authentic self can give good and bad experience and or connections. Then an example, an effeminate guy maybe looked down on versus a masculine guy, which happens a lot. It's really weird in society. That's my add-on. And even a shy person may be seen as incompetent to take on leadership roles, though oftentimes when put in the position, that person excels. Okay, let's get into it. Starting with the whole effeminate versus masculine thing, it is I don't know what it is with society why
femininity is seen as
femininity
less
is seen as
than.
weakness. I don't know why.
So most of the arguments I've heard is that women are emotional and they're run by their emotions and all of that. Da, 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 da.
We are all
But
emotional.
we're all emotional and well, of course, like a lot of men aren't raised like to deal with their emotions. They're like taught to, like toughen up and like stick it out and like
Yeah,
just get
but
over it,
that doesn't mean they're not emotional.
which is true. But that's usually the argument, especially like when it comes to women and leadership and stuff like that. But as I've gotten older, I've learned that being in tune with your emotion is very vital for positions like
It
that, and it
is.
it can come with like negative aspects sometimes, but for the most part, having empathy and them little thoughts and shit like that, like it's very like very very vital.
Mm-hmm.
And contrary to popular belief, women are generally better leaders than men in a lot of instances or cases. Of course, you'll have like certain women leaders that I just absolutely can't stand because they go the bitchy route, I'm superior to
Mm-hmm.
other women route. But in
And want
general,
to be
based on
vindictive all the time.
vindictive, yeah. But in general, based on, I've seen women to be like better leaders than men.
And then the whole a shy person. I do think in most industries they say they want to go off merit and what how long you've been in the position and superiority and all these things for you to get promotion. But a lot of the times you do see where it's a friend thing, like, oh, I'm close with
Because
the manager, so I
they
get
had to kiss
promoted. You
ass,
have to
yeah.
kiss ass in order to
Mm-hmm.
move up when it shouldn't be like that. And then at the same time, somebody who they are extremely capable of doing the same job and they have been doing it for years, they are overlooked because they probably don't speak up enough, or they don't really stand out. So they tend to think, oh, because you shy away from doing whatever, you don't have the capabilities of being a leader, when in truth that person might have been the best leader out of
which
everybody you're
is
given the job to. They just needed a chance.
and sometimes people just don't want to speak up. Like, what's with all of this talking all the way, and like, like someone should be able to come in and like do their job to the best of their ability, with all of the fluff and the kissing ass and the being best
Exactly.
buddies and friends with all of these people, and still receive like promotion. And I do get that you have to in some way or form like be a people person, but if it is that like I have to like that's a different thing, but I just don't want to be forced to do it just because like I want some promotion or some shit like that.
Because at the end of the day, this is a job. I come, I do what I need to do, and I go home. And if I'm
Exactly.
doing what I'm doing better than everybody else, then maybe I should be the one to be looked on like, hey, do you want to get this promotion? And not because, and I don't come and I kiss your ass all the time doesn't mean I don't deserve it, or I don't talk up enough doesn't mean I don't deserve it. Like, look at everybody and see who would be the right fit for the position. But then you do see a lot of the times where it's the extroverted, outgoing, always loud, like they're the ones who always get these promotions at work, and it's just why sometimes.
Oh, um, I don't know. I always tell people that's one of the reasons I probably won't get promoted, because I'm always authentic like myself. I just don't do the unnecessary fluff and running behind and kissing ass sort of thing. That's just not for me. Um, but yeah, he said something about being your authentic self, and that come in
Yes,
with
I
like
was
the good
about
and
to
the
bring
bad.
that up.
Um, it happens a lot, and I realize that a lot of people are like intimidated by authenticity. In a sense where you could be the shy, reserved person who just doesn't like to talk, or like, they do my job and just go home, and people will find a problem with that. You're not bothering anybody, you're just existing by yourself because that's who you are, and people are heavily bothered. Or you could just be the type that you're fun, you're outgoing, and whatever, and that bothers people too. So I mean, at the end of the day, people always go talk or have some shit to say. Um, just do you, because it's really rare, like you see people who they just don't care, they just be themselves, whether it's be the low, the out there person, even though I might find that person annoying, or I might be the shy, reserved person that doesn't really do all the talking, and that you can just get the energy from them that they don't really give a shit about what people think or say around them. I value people who like have that that level of authenticity, that they don't really care, they don't really care what people think about them. Like
Yeah.
they just go ahead living their life, march into the beat of their own drum. And you can tell that person that they don't really care for validation from anyone else to tell them who they need to be. And that's something that I see a lot. A lot of times I see people act certain ways, or they try to put on certain lifestyle or certain front, and it's not that that's who they are, it's who they think people like about them, what they think people like about them, or what they want to project to other people.
Yeah.
And it's something that happens like primarily like 90%, maybe on 95% of the time today, especially like on social media. It
Yeah,
is all
because
a front for people, or what people think, or what people would like, not what they themselves like.
yeah, they only put forward what they think society and people around them want to see. Like, a lot of people don't really show who they really are on a daily basis, especially amongst different people. They show different faces, I would say. So you might know me as someone, and you think you know who I am, but somebody else might have a different opinion of me because what I show to you is not what I show to them. So they have like
Hmm.
a completely different concept of who I am as a person because I'm not showing them 100% of me.
And people do that. People I guess I do that to some extent, but not to the point where if you go to somebody brand new, they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, I never knew this," because people show different sides or different aspects of themselves to different people. Um, I primarily do this to people I don't really care about. So if I
Mm-hmm.
don't care about you, or like I don't care for you to know anything about me, like you'll get a very stoic, dead, resting bitch face, don't have much to say, reserved sort of person. But the people who
Yeah.
actually know me, like they see my personality, they know I'm unhinged. I say the unhinged thing, funny things. I do whatever. But
Yeah.
from going from a friend to friend basis, this friend will never absolutely say to me about him, "Oh my god, I didn't know that he was like this." Because like I don't go around like creating different personas for like different friends that I have, but I know people who do things like this,
I was about to
right?
say,
And when
you
you
do have
run
people
into
who do
another
that.
friend of theirs, and when you run into another friend of theirs, you're like, eh? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get it,
And
but I
it's
also don't get
weird.
it.
It's weird to me, and it's
It is
also
very weird.
psychotic. It is psychotic that some people live like that on a daily basis. But yeah,
I
it is
guess.
life. But at the end of the day,
Um,
you just have to be your authentic selves in no matter what situation or environment you are in, because that also will help you to move along in life and to just be happy with yourself when you're being true to who you are and true to yourself, you know?
and I don't know about others, but for me, it's something so attractive, especially like on Instagram, right? Because I preach over and over to y'all that I hate Instagram. Stop sending me 20 memes because I don't want to stay in that app for that long. But
Oh
anyways,
well,
no, I say this to say because if you have 10 people sending you 20 memes, you know how much that is. So I say this to say that sometimes I do actually happen to be like scrolling through people's stories and stuff like that. And like some people, I'm just like clicking because it's just like there's nothing there. There's no authenticity there. But then you have a few people who actually like it's just so funny. Like you can see that you're genuinely being themselves, and I'm like, this is so
hmm,
interesting to see. Oh, you're funny this way, or you like to laugh about this, or you talk about this, and it's like it is so interesting or attractive for me to see because
yeah,
it just shows me that you're slightly different. You have something different like about you, not just your physical. Wanting to present as this supermodel. That's how everyone acts on Instagram. I don't know where this thing came from, where it got to be highly edited professional photos and no candid photos or no little memes or laughs here.
yep,
Like it just seems so professional. And I'm like, this is social media. I don't think social media was ever built to be professional unless it's LinkedIn
sterile.
or something like that. But this ain't LinkedIn. Like, show some of the funny. And when I see people do that, I'm like, this is so attractive. Like, he is so funny. Like,
This is coming from the guy who does not post on anything.
I
Okay, let's get into
listen.
that mess.
I post. I do not post a lot on my general feed, right?
Okay,
Because I think it's kind of pointless to do this every day. But
we're
on
not
my
saying every
actual
day.
story, anyways, on my
Yeah,
actual story, I do post a lot. And if you are someone who is not really on Instagram for the bits and glamours and
24
the
hours that
this
is
and
up
that
there.
24 hours, you will realize that I post different aspects or things that either things that I find funny or things that I'm interested in. Like now and then, like I post like an anime thing, or if I go to the movies, or I post about the gym, or I just post a random funny video. And these are all different layers or aspects of myself. So like if you're actually paying attention, you can learn a little about me. Of course, it's not going to be like a specific photo from me because when I do go places, I most times don't post.
Same.
Like, yeah, but like, I do have a little humor there, here and there. Like, there's a little here and there. So like, don't be like that. Don't do not
I,
be
I,
like
I
that.
was just saying. I was just saying. But a hit dog will yell. But anywho, let's move on to the next part.
Anyways,
So I found this very funny. Have you been seeing this whole Montoya, por favor? all over Twitter
Yes, 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 yes,
lately.
yes.
Okay, okay. So do you know the backstory?
To some extent, I don't really read that much into it.
All right.
Um,
So for those of you who don't know, we might be a bit late to it because this happened last week and we didn't put our episode last week out. But it's a Spanish program, from what I gathered, right?
mhm.
It's like a couples. They put them on like a resort or something. And the whole point of the show, they have the guys sequestered in one section and the girls in another section. Remember, it's like boyfriend, girlfriend type thing, right? But the whole point of the thing is to see if you're going to end up cheating on your significant other by the end of this whole thing. I don't know how they win prizes or how they get eliminated, but I know from what I read, because it's all in Spanish, that's one of the main parts. So basically, this guy, Montoya, him and his girlfriend, they're on there on the show, right? Apparently, some week before, he had some girl twerking on him. The girlfriend got jealous. Instead of like being, hey, I don't like that, this girl went and had full on sex with another guy because they have people on the resort who's there to like tempt them, right? To see if they're going to end up cheating. The producers are evil for this. They literally bring this guy out into on this cliff on the beach side and have a huge screen with him watching the thing going down. His girlfriend being pile drived by this guy. And while he's running and screaming, the producer, Montoya, por favor, like she's trying to get him to stop. He
And
gets
he's
over
running on the
there.
beach.
He's running on the beach. Very dramatic. He gets over there. The girlfriend hops off the dick and runs outside. Meanwhile, he's crying, rolling in the grass. She's like, "Why are you crying? You shouldn't be doing this. Stop that. You're being dramatic, blah, blah, blah." Like, he literally just saw you getting fucked, girl. Like, calm down. Only for her to, like, run inside and run up back and, like, go hug him up. Oh, let's leave together. Let's leave together. And I'm like, what the fuck did I just watch? So, the reason I put it in there for us to talk. First question. Would you do a show like that with your partner?
I would not, and also I don't
I would
believe in
neither.
the. I don't believe in the you cheated, I cheated to get my lick back. I'm not a child, okay? I
Yes.
don't have time. I don't have time for them like childish ass games. You cheat on me, we done. There ain't no getting no lick back. Not because, and I've always heard people like, oh, especially Jamaicans, bun for bun, and for
I
my
don't have
non-Jamaican
time.
friends, like bun means cheating. Um, hell no, you cheat on me, we're done. There's no
Yes.
questions, there's no discussion, there's no debate on why, what, how. I just literally, frankly, don't care about you or the situation or the relationship or that point, and you gotta go.
Especially if it's something like this where I'm literally in the moment watching you being pile driven by another
On
guy.
TV.
On TV. The whole world is seeing this. There's no coming back from that. There is
Uh-uh.
literally no coming back from that. I get it if it was like a simple, oh, he kissed her, she kissed me, whatever. You can talk about that. You can come back from that, yes. But to see you and going at it like a jackrabbit, no, 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 no. There's no way you and I would ever be together after that. It is ridiculous. And the thing is, I get it. You have these shows, the reality shows, but I always say, at what point is fame too much? Like, what's the line? Like, what line won't you cross? Because why would you put yourself in a situation like that where the whole point of the show is to tempt you to cheat? Why? That makes no sense. And then the guy who literally, she hopped off his dick and ran outside. He comes out in the skimpiest, tightest shorts, just looking around like, what's going on? Dude, her boyfriend just saw you fucking her. That's what's going on.
It's crazy. Like,
It
it
was
is
so
absolutely
crazy.
crazy.
It was
And I'm like,
ridiculous.
I don't
I
know where
don't know
people get
why.
this. And in real life, because that might be scripted to some extent, but in real life, I do see people who act like that, and you're like, "Oh, I got my lip back because I slept with this homeboy that do it," and I'm like, it's so toxic and
It's
so
so
petty.
toxic.
Like, we're grown as adults talking about getting our lip backs because someone
It
cheated
makes
on
no
me, so I should go cheat
sense.
on someone else, huh?
Somebody, I, d- um,
Somebody, I don't remember who, a friend of mine, I want to say. Anyway, somebody sent me something the other day on Instagram. Um, Basically, you know the song "Let Me Smell Your Dick" or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and they're going to say like that's the type of relationship they want. The talk, and like I don't know why would you want a toxic relationship? Like, if I have to literally be watching everything you do and literally telling you to pull your pants down, let me smell your dick if you were cheating on me, why would I even stay in that? I don't have time for that. I am too grown for that. No, we're not doing that. We're not 12.
Mm.
We're not kids. We're not teenagers. We're adults here.
But
Come on.
unfortunately, like people find every single reason to stay together, to do whatever except leave.
Except leave.
And I don't know if it's the trauma or abandonment issues in me, but I will just absolutely leave. I just don't have time for all of that. Like people do everything except
I
leave. And
don't
then
have time for games.
when the situation happens again or even worse this time, they're like, "Oh my god, why would you do this? How could you do this?" I mean, he did it before and he was telling you that it's something that he'd do again because how life works with people's brain, whether they do it consciously or subconsciously, once they get any idea that they can manipulate you or like carry
Mm-hmm.
around circles, it's always
Yep.
going to happen again. Oh, you did this, you hit on me, you cheat on me, and and you forgive me. I'm gonna do it again because you're gonna keep
Because
forgiving me.
if you allow it the first time, chances are you're going to allow it the second and third time. So they're going to keep doing it until it becomes a cycle.
Because
But
what you
if you're
allow
the
will
person
continue.
at the first time it happens, you say no and you walk away, then that shit will not happen to you again. But when you
Exactly.
sit down in a situation and you keep being like, oh, and making excuses and finding reasons to stay, then shit hits the fan. And then you wonder why. Because you decided to stay. That's all on you.
But it is actually crazy because I don't know. And then the producers from the show are running around like, "Oh, Montoya, por favor, Montoya." Like, what do you expect? You
And
see your
the
partner
thing
getting the
is,
back blown out, and you're watching this live on TV, and you not expect the person to have like a reaction or something.
I thought honestly he was going to run off into the water and not come back. I thought that's what he was going to do. I thought he was going to jump off that cliff. Why would you take the man out in that situation and show him all that on TV in the moment
He's
when it's
being so
happening?
dramatic too.
So dramatic. And then the thing is, if it were me, everybody's getting beat up. The executive producers all the way down, we're all fighting because why would you
Also,
show
I'm
that
not
to
doing
me?
that either. Also, I'm not doing that either. I don't know. My my anger, my rage is always to walk away. I'm not fighting nobody. You cheat on me, I'm not fighting the person you cheat with. I'm not even fighting you. Like
But
you
the
will
funny thing
just
is,
never hear from me
but the funny
again.
thing is, he was just screaming, asking why and crying. He wasn't even trying to fight anybody. She's the one who came out on like, let's fight type shit. And he's like, why would you do this? You've ruined me.
Mm-mm.
Which she really did. It's like a
I'm
cuckold
not.
because she
I'm not.
literally cuckolded this man on international TV.
I am not asking no why, what, when, where, who. Even when I have the answers, I do not care. I'm
I would love to
uprooting
see the
myself from your
reunion.
life, and you will never hear from me again.
I would love to see the reunion and see if they both came back because where are they
That should
now?
be
I
interesting.
would love to know. There is,
That should be actually
to
interesting.
me, there is no coming back from that. I cannot see you literally in the moment being dicked down by somebody else and want to be like, let's work it out. There's nothing to work out from that. There's no coming back from that. None.
Mm-mm.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Anyways,
You are done with this. I can see it on your face.
so one of the so Drag Race. We haven't spoken about Drag Race
Oh,
in
Drag
a
Race,
minute
yes.
on the show. Let me just preface this by saying this. This is a TV show. My God, watch the show, have your opinions, close that laptop, turn that TV off, put that phone down, and go about your day. It's not real life. And people are so mad, and I guess everyone is saying that, oh, she got the Jan Q Lucy edit of the season. I'm like, what edit? Are we watching the same show?
That's the
First of
same thing
all,
I said. To
Lana,
me, to
as,
me. Okay, finish what you're saying first.
as much as I'm not living for Lana right now, she beat her in the lip sync. Like, I mean, the wig fell off, but one thing I know, one thing that kind of stood out to me, the way she worked that wig and put it back on, I saw a look on Rue's face, and I'm like, okay, yes, this wig falling off not going to be a problem.
And you know what?
And
To be honest, I think that's what
she
saved
kind of
her.
she kind of plateaued to the end. Her what's her name again? What the other girl's name?
Crystal.
Crystal plateaued to the end. She started out really strong, but in the end she plateaued. And Lana won up to her. So I don't get why people are
I
like, oh my
think
god, and we're clearing front runner out. Crystal was never in the running to win. She don't even have a challenge win like that. So where are we getting this narrative from that she got jammed or queued?
I don't think she got the Jan or Q edit because they at least they were kind of doing something on the show. Crystal was just there. I think her edit that she got is more like a Dawn, where Dawn was literally top for most of the episodes. She was like second place for most of the episodes, and then the moment she's in the bottom, she goes home. But another thing, the only thing I think that saved Lana was when the wig fell off, the way how she put it back on and like
Because she
continued like
worked
nothing
the wig
happened.
like she served the wig on her hand like a
Yeah,
platter, brought it around to her face,
she literally
and
and
put
she
it
did
back
it
on her
on
head
beats, like everything was on
while
beat.
still lip syncing. So I'm
So
like,
I think that's what saved her. But at the end of the day, I can get why people are upset and saying like she should have gone home because this was like her second time in the bottom. But at the same time,
that's not how it
somebody
works.
hold on. Somebody said something that I kind of agree with. At the end of the day, the producers are making a show. If you're on the show and you're not giving anything, they're not going to want to keep you around. At least Lana is bringing some drama to the show, which I get is why they keep her, which
Mm-hmm.
is why Candy Muse was kept, because Candy was the drama on her season. So Crystal, to be honest, was just there. At some point, Crystal had to go home. We know Crystal is not going to win. All of these girls, Lana is probably going home next week, which is she's going home. We at this point in the season, we already know who top four is going to be, and I'm going to say it from now on the podcast. I think the top four is literally going to come down. Top five, let's say top five. I think top five is going to come down to Anya Nerves, Lexi Love, Jules, Sam, and Susie. And I'll say it today on the podcast, and let's see how it goes. Everybody else is going
And that
home. They're all
and that
fillers.
might very well be. And someone made a point that like if it is that people weren't in the bottom multiple times, like where are we getting this track record thing? In the competition, we've seen that track record doesn't matter until it gets
It
to the
doesn't.
end, and sometimes it still doesn't matter depending on how the lip sync for the crown is
It
set up.
really does
At
not.
this point, it's free for all. You could have four wins and someone just chop your ass and send you home. Um, and people are like, have we forget like earlier seasons? People were in the bottom 4 or 5 times, but they were so good that you just couldn't send them home.
Look
Cameron
at
was in the
Cameron
bottom like four
Michaels.
times.
Cameron
Coco
lip
was in
syncs
the bottom
almost
at
every
least like five
episode,
times too.
and Cameron
Coco
made it
Munchies
to
was in
top
the bottom.
three.
Coco and Alyssa Edwards were in the bottom every week for season
Yep,
5 until they got together with themselves, and that's how one of them got sent home, and that's how we got
yep,
that legendary lip sync with Coco, the Paula Abdul,
with the
Cold
sleeves.
Hearted Snake with the sleeves.
Yeah.
Like, where are we getting this from? Like, it like oh my god, and this then people are like, oh my god, this the season is so bad. I am living for the
The season
season.
isn't bad. The season is good. I like the season.
Like,
The
this
girls
has
are
been the
giving
best season
TV.
right, this has been the best season since like around season 12, 11 thereabout. Like none of the other previous series,
No, Plain Jane was
13,
good. Plain
14.
Jane season was funny because of
Plays
Plain
alone
Jane.
wasn't
Just
able
because of Plain
she
Jane.
but that's the point. This season is collectively
Well, that's true.
having
I will
moments
agree
from
with that.
multiple people,
They're all doing great TV.
and the untucked is great as well in comparison to like everything we've seen in the last 4 or 5
And that
seasons. So
coming from you is high praise because you have hated on Talk for the last couple seasons.
because I haven't even been watching untucked, because the last like a lot
But
of
this
the
season they're doing
previous
really
every
well.
untucked is giving something, like it's doing
And
really well.
I think I said it to you. I like this format of On Talk where they're allowing the girls to just move around and do things by themselves. Nobody's
Like
like
you're getting
coaching
so
them,
much
oh, sit
drama,
here, do this. I like that.
And then they're delusional as hell, so it's bringing the
Oh
drama because
God,
Miss
that is
Miss
the
Sue's
theme
in the
of this
back, right?
season.
I should have been in the back, the top,
The
and I'm
top.
like,
No, she didn't say I should have been in the top. She said I should have won. I should have won.
same
Girl,
shit.
I'm wondering, her watching this back, is she saying the same thing? Because clearly we're seeing two different things. In the moment, I can understand why you thought you did great, but after watching this, do you still think you did great? Because what the fuck was that?
And then this whole drama of Crystal shouldn't have been in the bottom. Ariady should have been in the bottom. Well, mind you, not Ariady was in the bottom, but they both equally bombed. But
Her outfit
Ariady's
saved her this
runway
season,
saved
this
her. Like
episode,
her
which is
runway saved her. And people
which
are
is
like,
what I
when
don't
did run?
get.
And people are like, when did runway ever matter? And someone was like, this is RuPaul's ownership apostrophe s ownership's drag race, so it's whatever he feels like at that particular point. Why are we making a huge deal out of it? Like, already runway was so good that like
Her runway was good. That's what saved her this episode.
it just saved
Also,
her.
I will say though, Lana should have got home. I'm tired of her. Like, girl, I'm tired of her sweeping her hand across her collarbone every episode. Please go home. I'm tired of it. But with that said, I get why she was saved. Ugh.
And someone was like, oh my god, you cannot be Lux's drag daughter and you can't be Plain's drag daughter because y'all ain't giving.
Wait, who's playing?
People are
Oh,
like,
Tori. She's not her drag
Tori,
daughter. She's her sister.
whatever she is, they're
I
like,
think she's her sister.
y'all,
Yeah.
like y'all ain't, you're like, y'all ain't giving it all. Like,
And
y'all
I
ain't
I get
giving.
it. I get it. You have really skinny women who are like bone straight. But my God, just
Do
some
some padding for
hips,
real.
something. Her outfit. So I saw her outfit on the mannequin, the one she wore on the last episode. On her, I didn't get what she thought she was given with that outfit. But when I saw it on the mannequin, I was like, oh, this actually looked nice. It looks really nice. Because the mannequin had the curves. It wasn't a lot, but there was some curves in the hips. So you saw the actual shape of the dress. On her, it was just straight like 6 o'clock. Girl,
So
hips.
normally I be chastising people when they say, you know, stop relying on the body, and I'm like, well, if they have the body, but in this particular case, like in this particular case, I'm like, a little breastplate here and there, a little illusion,
Something.
because you're giving me boy all the time, like as Michelle would say in older
It's just
seasons,
the
like you're giving me
face. Like
boy
your
all the
face is
time. It's like,
stacked.
you know like you gotta at least sometimes try at least like serving a little body, like do a little padding or something like that. So that's the reason why, like, for the thing that I sent you this morning where Plain was like, you better go buy that mattress and cut it up, I'm like, yeah, it gets to a point, like it gets to a
Yeah.
point where
And
I'm tired of the swimsuit body type, you know what that style of dress is called that goes from the chest down to like the mid hips right there. Like, it's similar to what
what's
Corey
that?
wears.
Oh, the bodysuits. No, the
Isn't
cat,
like a bodysuit like a full thing?
the leotard. Yeah, the
That's what a
leotard.
leotard is.
I
That
think
yeah,
so.
that's sort of, well, I
The
don't know what the
jumpsuit
name
is
is
the
for it.
shorts. The jumpsuit is like the shorts looking one. The bodysuit is the full from head to toe. That's a leotard,
Hmm.
yeah. They come out in a leotard because it's not a corset. A corset is just like from the hip up.
Well,
That is
that
it's a
Cortez
leotard.
esque looking sort of,
Yeah.
sort of thing. Like, it gets to a point. It gets to a point like sometimes like we need
But
a
and
little bit
and
more.
I'm not saying like you need to have like a Nina Bonina exaggerated tiny waist, big hip, all these things. But at least
But
some
like
shape. Look at
something,
Violet. Violet is skinny as fuck. Violet corset to the point where you literally see a shape.
see the a
Naomi
shape, yeah.
Smalls. Naomi Smalls is tall as hell. Naomi Smalls, she pads. It's not a lot, but she does.
Or even if she doesn't pad, we've seen her wear like these big voluptuous like type dress that gives her shape and stuff like that. So
Yes.
it's not just about padding. Say you don't want to pad, you don't like the pad, like that's perfectly fine. But wear something that like looks like it's from the Victorian era
Yes,
with
a
a small
leotard.
waist.
I just Googled it.
Yeah, like with a small waist and a big bottom or something. But this constant same thing on the every like it's not given, and it's kind of shocking because I thought these girls would have been given, but most of these girls not given the way they
I
think they're
honestly
given.
thought, and they all think that they are serving when they're really not.
They're serving flop for sure, but
Oh, because
anyways,
even Sam, as much as I know, as much as I said, I think Sam is going to make it to the top of the season. Her outfits, the way how she goes about her outfits, they're not that great, girl. They don't look
but
that
I'm
good.
sorry, Sam is giving me great TV because
And not only
whenever the girls be delusional, I feel like the
she calls
producers
them
just be like,
out.
Sam, I feel like the producers be like, Sam, it's your
What
time
do
to
you
shine.
think?
What do you think? And Sam be reading them, and then the little country accent, it's like, no, girls, y'all ain't giving it. Like,
Which is
And
true. I will say
when
she's
she
giving
said it
good TV
straight
for
to,
that. Susie.
Susie's face,
Because everybody else was talking behind her back. Like, go to her
and
and
she
tell
was
her
like,
how you
girl, she
feel.
was like, no.
Did you see in Untuck where Quinta literally laughed in her face? She was like, that was ridiculous. How did she feel in that moment? Because here you are throwing Anya under the bus, saying how she just played herself. Meanwhile, the person who she is literally a comedic writer. She has an Emmy award for playing doing comedy. She looks you in your face and tells you that was ridiculous and laughs. I would I would have just gone home. Like from there, I would never do comedy again.
There's a whole lot of drag delusion on going on in this season.
Oh,
Like usually it's one girl, but it's like multiple girls. But I don't mind because it makes the episodes funny as
it
hell.
does. It does
Because then
make them
they come back and be
fun.
like, "Oh my god, I feel so good, I slayed that."
And then
And
that's
then
the thing.
the judges are like, "No, girl, you didn't." And RuPaul being messy as hell. I like when RuPaul be messy.
RuPaul is matching their mess.
I like when he comes backstage now and clock them and be like, "Girl, every time you come out in this damn shoe, that
And not
shit's
only that, literally telling you to your face, you know, last week you were going to be in the bottom.
right." They be so ga-
Like,
they be so gagged. Like,
oh
oop.
my God. I will say this season, I've been enjoying the season because
No, I have been too.
the level of delusion of every episode, nobody thinks that they did poorly. No one has thought that they did poorly in any of the challenges so far. And I'm like, are we seeing the same thing? Because
Their
why?
confidence is their confidence is
You
to the
know,
roof
they
when it
say
comes to.
it do take nerve, and they have the nerve. Because my God,
Mm-mm-mm.
no one
But
thinks they did
anyways,
poorly.
next episode should be the Rusical,
Yeah.
some
Oh
wicked
God,
Rusical.
you know, I hope it's a good one because the musical have. I mean, some of them since RuPaul has started to pay attention to what they're actually doing, they have been good. But I've never been a fan of the musical episodes. You know I don't like musicals and stuff like that, so
I'm not really, but
never been a
usually like.
fan.
But let me see how this goes.
Oh my God,
Um,
what if Susie is in the bottom of the musical episode? Because you know she's a theater queen. What if she's in the bottom?
oh, that would be a
Girl,
gag.
that
That
would be
would
the
be a
gag
gag.
of the season.
But let's
Oh,
see.
but anyway,
This
before
usually
we
is for the
go,
dancing, singing. Go ahead.
I said my top five. Who do you think is going to be top five or even top three?
Um, so I think Anya definitely for sure. Maybe Susie. I'm not putting her there, but maybe. Lexi has a high chance too, but it's also a maybe for me. Um, the reason why I'm only saying Anya is because she has a personality and energy that she transfer into whatever she's doing. Like it's not just
Yes.
like dancing or acting or comedy. It's just like yeah, she might be good at it, or she might be like maybe like average at it. But when she adds her little razzle dazzle to it, so that's the reason why I'm only saying like her. Susie can either go up and down and flop. The same thing for Lexi, up and down and flop. So to be honest, I'm not really sold on a lot of these girls. To be honest,
So wait,
um,
that's your top
Jules might
three?
go.
Oh, four.
Jules might go far too. But it depends. And this season still there's still a lot of girls, so there might be a dark horse that may come out at some particular point.
I think
May.
Anya is the dark horse right now because they
No,
keep
she's not the dark horse.
underestimating her. No, because they
No,
all
they're
keep
underestimating.
underestimating
No,
her.
what? No, 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 no. What the queens think doesn't matter. It's what the judges think, and based on what the judges think, Anya is
Oh,
not a
Anya's
dark
killing
horse.
it.
Anya is doing. Anya is killing it. A dark horse
They
now is more
all.
someone that's doing bad or like medium, and then like they pick
Oh,
up
that's what you
further
mean.
towards the season.
That's what you mean.
But
But
that's the story. What a
they.
dark horse is
No,
somebody that
no.
you never see coming.
But who would that be at this point though?
It could be anybody.
Like who?
I don't know, but let's see. But let's
I
see.
I said my top five: Ariete, Lana, and who's left right now? Corey
Corey.
and
I think Corey and
Lydia
Lana is going right behind
and
each other.
Lydia. They're going home. They're going to go home.
But it's who first?
That's true. But we'll see on the next episode. But it's been a good season, but we'll see how it goes.
Hmm.
But with
Okay.
that said, guys, we have come to the end of another titillating episode of Shiggles. I have been that guy Rickster,
And this was Darren, guys.
and we'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.